It is Thursday, April 24th, and somehow all of our videos are us on the road.
How does that happen?
So we are on our way. It's 10:15 in the morning. We're on our way over to Indianapolis because today we get to see Dave Ramsey and Rachel Cruze. They're doing their legacy event tonight, the Legacy Journey. That's tonight at 7, but before that, they released a book. Where's the book? Do you have the book?
It's right here, yes. I do have the book.
Smart Money, Smart
I put it in
Kids.
a safe spot.
They wrote the book.
Ooh.
You're hitting me in the face with the book.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good book though. We did read it.
So I was on the launch team for this. There's about 150 of us, and it's a big deal. I don't know. There were 700 people that applied, and they chose us to be on it. So
He's special.
they sent us the book a couple months ago, and so we've already read it. We got the book on Tuesday.
We read it on iPad, so now I need to read it again.
We need to read it so we can highlight it. But she's doing a book signing right now at the Barnes & Noble in Indianapolis.
We're gonna get signed right there.
We're gonna sign, which will increase the value of that book by tens of thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands, but we'll never part with it because it's too valuable.
It'll be on eBay.
Stop.
No, we need to get a couple copies of it because we've already got friends that need to borrow it. And I don't know why they're borrowing it. It's $15 to change your family tree.
It's because it's a habit to borrow books, but I think this is one. I mean, I borrow books. I almost always go to the library or borrow from somebody. I am not a huge book buyer because I'm too cheap. But
which is funny because you read books.
I do read books.
And I'm reading more now.
Ben buys books.
But I buy books
read
that I don't read. But I've gotten through a bunch this year. So
as I was saying, I think this one is worth buying because not only are there some worksheets in the back, you know, some formats for how to go through these things with children, but it also has some great lists of what's developmentally appropriate at different levels. And so it's not that I just need it today, it's that I can really see myself referencing this as my kids get older, and I'm looking at
for the next 10 years, the book is still completely valid.
How to make the money smarts.
Or wherever your kids are. So if you've got teenagers, buy the book. If you've got, if you don't have kids yet, buy the book. Honestly,
one of the most profound ideas in the book was about teenagers and about letting them manage their own money. And, you know, for parents out there, I only have little kids right now, but the responsibility of dealing with everybody's activity fees and lunch fees and after school fees and all of that kind of stuff, that's fine. That's a mom's job. But as kids get older, if they can learn to navigate that themselves, it helps make them more independent and more appreciative of what they're doing, while at the same time, you know, relieving some of that responsibility from a parent so that you can guide them through doing that rather than, you know, dealing with it all and feeling unappreciated.
Not feeling appreciated.
Not feeling appreciated, which sometimes I feel unappreciated.
I think one of the cool things, well, like one thing that was, when you talk about activity fees and everything, one of the things that Dave Ramsey did with his 3 kids is as their kids got older, they opened up, 14 or so, they opened up a checking account in the kids' names. And Dave and his wife, Sharon, would figure out how much they would spend per month on a kid. So for instance, if they're buying them clothes, giving them money for lunches, if they were buying a little bit of gas in their cars, whatever it may be, let's say it was $400 or $500 a month that they were spending on each of their kids, they would actually deposit that into their kid's checking account and have the kid, each of the kids, Rachel and her sister and her brother, would have to spend that money on themselves. So they could, in theory, blow that money on day one, but then they would not have clothes. They would not have. And one of the things Rachel talks about is that when she had money for clothes and she had a finite amount of money, she would go into, I don't know what nice places are, Shade Crew, to buy clothes and see that one outfit was $200, where she could go to Old Navy and get a ton of clothes for the
Target.
same. or Target for the same amount of money. And so it taught them to be frugal. It taught them to spend wisely, to manage their money.
They were clear in the book, though. If you're just starting this with high schoolers,
do that on day one.
You do not want to do that on day one. The goal is that it gives them a really practical budgeting exercise. And I can see our kids are getting really into that, sitting down with us. Honestly, right now we should probably do that and say, this is the money we have in our budget for school things, you know, and for your lessons. I mean, we kind of did that a little bit talking about summer activities, but that's something that we could do a better job of saying, we're going to spend, you know, $200 on you or $300 on you this summer for summer activities. Here are the activities that are available. What are you interested in? What do you want to spend that money on? I mean, it gets tricky because maybe it's just I'm nervous about relinquishing control. Because what if he says, I want to play Minecraft all summer and not do any of these activities and save the money, which is something our oldest son probably would do. So there has to be some parental oversight, I think.
And our youngest son would spend every dime on it on spy gear.
He would. We would have a room full of spy gear. So there's something about wisdom, but I think working through that with kids is going to make them much more appreciative of our efforts. Got it? And at the same time help them to make some of those choices for themselves, which I think will help make them smart about money.
So it's an awesome book, and if you don't read it, you don't care for your kids.
You don't love them.
You just don't love your kids.
Bad parents.
You are bad parents, and you should really just turn them over to be wards of the state, because that's really all that's going to happen. But it does talk about not going to college debt-free, which is crazy. It talks about, you know, like I said, the checking accounts and buying a car for your kids. What Dave Ramsey did was he had what he called a 401 Dave. And so he said he would match whatever his kids saved for a car. So if they saved $4,000, he would give them $4,000 and they could go out and buy an $8,000 car, which also changed the way that they shopped because they bought in on it. It wasn't just that they were being handed a car. And in a book it talks about how his oldest daughter bought you know, an $8,000 car, and then Rachel, who is the middle child, saw that they were serious about it, and so she started saving like crazy, and she got like $6,000 and bought a $12,000 car. And then their youngest, their son, he had like 10 years to do it, so he had $10,000, right?
I don't know. Are these all the right numbers? Or
no, I'm making them up.
He's making the numbers up. You should read the book. I don't remember the real numbers.
In the book, he talked about
it was a lot of money that their son saved.
It was a ton of money, and then he wanted to give the money away.
Well, it was so much so that in the book, Dave says, I cannot responsibly let my young driver
buy a $20,000
buy this expensive car. And so he ended up giving it away to a cause that was really near and dear to his heart, which actually leads to the other thing that I think is really, really powerful about this book. And that is, one of the quotes in there is, money is never just about money. And there's, really it's woven throughout, but there's a section that talks about breeding contentment and thankfulness in your children. And, you know, our money reflects where our heart is and the things that are important to us in a way that very few other things in life do. And if we can teach our kids to be content with what they have, to be giving, and giving always comes out of a heart of thanksgiving, being thankful, feeling grateful, and seeing need and meeting it. Wow, what a powerful thing that would be to have the next generation who was not only not crippled by the debt of our generation, but also empowered with this attitude of thanksgiving and gratitude and contentment that would allow them to take all of those resources that they're going to be collecting wisely, and to spend them in a meaningful way, in a way that brings glory to God. And I think that's just such a powerful thing, and one that I hope that we can instill in our children.
Yeah,
for sure.
So regardless, our book will be signed by Rachel,
and it'll be cool. And
then later tonight we're going to go over, and we're actually going to be volunteers at the Legacy Journey event. So we're spending the whole day in Indianapolis.
Woohoo!
As crazy as that may be.
As Will would say, woo woo.
This is I don't know. This is kind of a long video blog, so maybe we'll break it into two, and we'll have our day in Indy as its own.
All right, sounds good. Peace out, yo.
See, here's the best part. I get to edit this, which means that stays in. Anything else you'd like to say?
For shizzle, I don't know. I don't have anything else.
Shizzle. All right, well, we're going to go back to listening to Snoop and Friends. Because my wife grew up on the west side.
If I just goodness gracious.
If I just keep this on, the hits will just keep on coming.
I went to bed too late last night.
We did go to bed really late last night.
I woke up really early. Well, not really early, but considering how late I went to bed, 6 a.m. is really early.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I was up for 90 minutes in the middle of the night. So.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah. Somebody wanted to have milkshakes at 10 o'clock at night.
Our children will watch this.
Our children. Hi, guys. We did not have milkshakes.
That's just joking. We wouldn't do that without you.
Never. And we wouldn't do it on trash night, where we can clearly throw away the evidence and you won't even see it in the trash.
I didn't remember to put it in the outside trash, did you?
Yeah, I walked it out. Yeah.
Oh, good.
No, we're totally good.
Okay.
Our kids will never. Oh, fireworks! we're in Indiana. Funny story about fireworks. All right, we're gonna come back. Last words?
No.
All right.
I got nothing.
Bye.